Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this joyous occasion. A special thank you to the City of Vineland for organizing this event. Our city has tremendous ability to honor and recognize its heroes in hopes of inspiring others to do something great. I also want to take this moment to thank our board members, President Spinelli, Vice President Cadaspati, and Board Member Rivera for joining us this morning, and also to our former board member, Mr. Bernardini, who was the coach of Mr. Piccone back in the days, right? Yes, we won't say how far back. At this time, please join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This morning I had the pleasure to meet Mr. Piccone and see his energy. And what I've learned over this time of being introduced to him as a former student in Vineland is that he's the definition of perseverance. He graduated from Vineland High School in 1967 as a star in both football and track, and was a member of the 1967 sectional champion track team. Lou was inducted into the Vineland High School Athletic Hall of Fame in 1993. After graduating college, he thought football was in his past, but he wasn't ready to close that chapter in his life and accepted an offer to play in a semi-pro league where he ended up getting scouted and made his way into the NFL, the first NFL player from Vineland, New Jersey. And while speed may be what Mr. Piccone is known for, his perseverance and determination, his drive to continue following his dream is what we're honoring here today. His work ethic is one of those things that made him a fan favorite and inspiration to all those around him. So it feels fitting that now, every time our athletes, our fans, and our alumni make their way into Piccone Stadium, they will see Lou's name and remember that determination made him so successful in his life. Congratulations, Lou, on this well-deserved honor. Please join me. Outstanding. Mr. Donnie Robbins.
Thank you, Mr. Yano. My name is Don Robbins. I'm the athletic director here for Vineland Public Schools. Before I introduce Mr. Piccone, I'd like to introduce Dr. Amberts. He's the business administrator from Vineland Public Library. Dr. Amberts.
It is an absolute honor to stand here today in representing the Vineland Public Library and the fine city of Vineland. Before I begin, I want to thank Ms. Santiago for adding me to the program. I appreciate you, Sheena. The Vineland Public Library would like to present a token of appreciation to Mr. Piccone. You are deserving of all the accolades you are receiving, and definitely long overdue. Your perseverance and dedication have served and will continue to serve as an example of the greatness that comes from this fine city. Thank you, sir. We appreciate all that you have done and continue to do for our fine city. Thank you, Mr. Piccone. And now, without further ado, we're going to continue the program as it stands. Mr. Donnie Robbins.
Thanks, Dr. Ambrose. I appreciate it. Just a few brief words. Speaking on behalf of Vineland High School and Vineland High School athletics is always a pleasure for me, something that is very important to myself and to the student athletes of Vineland High School. But as Mr. Llanos mentioned, Lou was a member of the class of 1967, was inducted into the Vineland High School Athletic Hall of Fame in 1993. Standout student athlete, lettered in football and track and field. During his time at Vineland High School, went on to West Liberty State College, Played a couple years at West Liberty State College, got a degree in health and physical education. It's something that's also near and dear to me, Lou. Played in the National Football League, New York Jets, Buffalo Bills. 1983, I believe, retired from the NFL. But as a guy who was a teenager during those years, Lou, I remember you playing. I was proud of you because you were from my area. And I just remember watching you play, and big guy, strong guy, but not real big, not real strong, but man, dogged determination. And it just, to me, it embodies the city of Vineland. Like, you were not going to be denied whatever you put your mind to. You're pretty fast, too. But in my mind, I remember 1979 playing for the Buffalo Bills, National Football League Special Teams Player of the Year for the entire NFL. Heck of an accomplishment. So on behalf of Vineland High School, Principal DeMarchi is our principal at Vineland High School. Dan Russo is our head football coach. But on behalf of Vineland Public Schools, Superintendent Yano, Mrs. DeMarchi, Coach Russo, and Vineland, we have a few small tokens of appreciation this morning. I know Coach Russo and the team will be seeing you later on this evening with some more neat thing. I don't want to spoil it. Neat things that they have in store. But if I can bring up Superintendent Yano one more time to help me. Dr. Ambers, you want to also come up? So as I mentioned, Lou was inducted into the Hall of Fame at Vineland High School in 1993. The Hall of Fame started in 1988. We had an all-sports booster club, which created a Hall of Fame. And really, it was Tony DeTomo's idea. I don't have to describe who Tony DeTomo was, but he came up with the idea of starting a booster club to help the schools, and then the booster club started a Hall of Fame. Lou was inducted in that Hall of Fame in '93. Last year, our current president's name is Terrence Spencer. He's the president of the Hall of Fame Selection Committee. Put together a book, and this book encompasses every Hall of Fame inductee since it started. And of course, Lou is in here, and I wanted to make sure that you had a copy of this. So Dr. Ambers, if you would present that to Lou. And then Superintendent Jan is a football guy. But we have this is a game ball that we use at Vineland High School. We emblazoned the rooster on it for all of our home games. Superintendent Yano is going to present Lou with a home football from Vineland High School. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest of honor, Mr. Lou Pone.
Well, it's the first time I've ever been in a microphone. I really don't know what to say. Listen, it's really, I'm flabbergasted. I never knew what that word meant, but I do now because I'm feeling it, okay? And coming back to see some really good friends, but everyone in Vineland is my friend. And I love Vineland. And because I haven't been here, it don't matter. Because this is where I came up. And the bottom line to it, you know that old adage about it takes a village to raise a child? Well, let me tell you something. If I didn't have that village, I would not be standing here. Because all along the way, people in Vineland, families in Vineland were close. They made sure that if you got out of line a little bit, they were going to straighten you out. They're going to put you back in that lane to make sure that you had every opportunity to get to where you needed to go. Now, I want to tell you something else. This school here was my first job out of college. Me and Joe Ardito. I don't know if you remember Joe. Remember Joe? Well, I was his supplemental help, all right? And the idea of education and coming out and getting right into education, because football was I thought a washed up dream because, you know, I'm a little guy, right? And I asked my coach after, we went to the Nationals. We did really good at West Liberty, okay? But I asked him and I said, hey, you know, Coach, what do you think? And he looked at me and he said, I don't think so, Lou. I just don't think so. I'll tell you a quick story though. You know, I wore these glasses because I was blind, all right? That really didn't sit well when you're handling the ball, you know, and you're catching punts and things like that. So when I was just getting started, it was my junior year because I redshirted. They redshirted me a year because they were afraid that my talents might overwhelm the league, you know. So anyway, when I first got my shot, right, I was returning punts. And I really, you know, I only played a half a season my senior year in high school. That's it, all right? So, you know, the rules and things sort of could get by you. And so I had a guy come after me because I was doing pretty good with punt returns, and I was taking chances and going in the middle of things and making things happen. And they were saying, man, so this guy named Bill, he comes over to me, he says, Lou, listen, I know what you're doing. You're taking so many chances. You get up in there, the fans love it, man. You take your ball, and you get us field position. We win ball games. How come you never fair catch? And I looked at him, and I said, what? He said, fair catch. I said, what's that? He looked at me and said, yeah, you raise your hand, okay, and they can't hit you. I said, no, yeah. Really? So now I'm pissed off. So I go over and I go to my coach, Coach Bob Rowe, okay? And he was a marvelous guy, you know, he was roughy and all that stuff, but he had a big old heart, right? I said, Coach, how come, hey, listen, let me ask you something. How come you never told me about a fair catch? He said, well, Lou, you know, our offense isn't doing that well, and we really needed a little boost, so I really didn't want to take the steam out of what you were doing, okay? But, you know, sort of my career was based upon a challenge. Got done, I was teaching school here. I get that call from Youngstown, Ohio, and my father was sitting there semi-retired, and we're sitting there, and we're having a conversation. I get that call, and it goes something like this. Hi, Lou. Yeah. Are you the Lou Pone to play for West Liberty? I said, yes, I am. He says, well, my name is George Rodak, and I want to know if you want to play professional football. I said, okay. All right, wise guy. Who is it? And he said, no. I said, really, it's me, you know, George Rodak. I said, okay. So what are you paying? $50 a ball game. Oh, $50 a ball game? My father's listening now, okay? And I said, $50 a ball game? I said, so you want me to come from South Jersey to Youngstown, Ohio for $50 a ball game? I don't think so. I got a job, you know. He says, well, I'll tell you what, Lou. He says, we're scouted. We're scouted heavily. We're scouted by Cincinnati and Cleveland and Pittsburgh. And I thought, can you hear that? My heart started to pump because you always had the idea of what do you want to do, Lou? You know, what can you do, Lou? And what's the difference between me and Archie Griffin? How about 2 Heisman trophies? And so it always had that. So I get off the phone and I said, well, I don't know, George. I said, I'll call you back. So my father's sitting there. And my father, does everybody know, well, there's a younger crowd here, but you guys know who my dad was, okay? And he left 5 decades of athletics here, right? So he's sitting there, he said, who was that? And I said, George Rodak. He said, well, what do you want? And I said, he wanted me to come and play professional football. What are they going to pay you? $50 a ball game. Oh, God, no. He says, $50 a ball game? He says, look, son, you got a job. You're teaching school. You got your education. When you played football in college, you got hurt a little bit, right? Okay, as a running back. And so much time for you to use your brain instead of your brawn, okay? And besides, you're too small. Well, Louis, you remember my pop. You remember my pop. He was a fighter. I mean, a boxer, a pugilist. Great record, one of the most renowned fighters come out of this area. Did he forget the stories that he told me? All my uncles all played at some level. And my Uncle Pick played for Notre Dame. A guy named Frank Leahy, played in the service. My Uncle Tony, Pickles they call him. He used to play baseball, but all of them coached. Okay? And I had this vision of, no, I mean, I can't, is that what you, so then you say those words that seal your fate, okay? I looked at my dad, and I didn't know at the time, but it didn't take me too long to find, he was my hero. You don't really identify your dad as your hero, early in life. You identify it later, okay? And I said to him, I was shocked. I said, is that what you think? Is that what you really think, Pop? Well, we're just going to have to find out about that. Those words just seared my soul. I mean, I hooked my spirit to his wagon. And I started. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was going to be doing it. I was going to be doing it until somebody told me to go home, because you can only do it once in life. That's it. Passes you by, it's the only shot you got, so you got to take it. So I did. I took it. I took that shot, and I came back. I went and played. Okay, I was successful there. I had a transition. I was talking about the glasses. Okay, well, I wanted to switch to a receiver. So you switch out to a receiver. Okay, you change so you have some idea of what you're going to be doing in the pros if you ever make it. And so I started that transition. I didn't know how long it was going to take me. I didn't know what I was going to have to do. All I know is this guy right here and the guy right behind him were all part of it. They were all part of it. Tommy, stand up. Tommy, Sarah is a best friend, the best man in my wedding, okay? In our wedding. And let me introduce my wife right now, Joanne. Okay, Stan, thank you very much. Stan, please. And that's what I'm saying. When I started, this guy had a shop right across the street. Okay, and I asked for a haircut. I went for a haircut over there, and that was it. I started, and he came along the whole time. He was with me the whole time. He understood, and he was sort of like my sponsor. If I needed something, he'd help me out. That's what I'm saying about it takes a town, a village, along the way. And Vineland is my town. I own it. Okay, I bought it. I was raised in it. And now I'm at the other end of it, and I'm being celebrated. What a journey. What a journey to end up back in the place that you started, okay, being applauded by people who understand what it takes to go the distance. And that's what I did, and I really did it. What did you do it for? Well, you did it for yourself, but you're also doing it for all those people who were with you, and all those people who come after you, because they look back and maybe I can inspire somebody. And when you're talking about the library and doing something about the library and capturing the vim and the vigor and the attitude and the success, because man, we need it today. We need it more than ever today, because family values are going down, going down the chute. They're going down quick. So it's very, very important that we gather up all of the resources that we have, those things that can turn somebody's life around. Do I look like an angel to you? I was not. I mean, you guys, there's people out here who can testify. Don't laugh, Greg, okay? Greg Zyla over there, he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame also with me on Saturday. Greg, stand up, please. Yeah. He's being inducted with me, and he was a NASCAR driver and writer, and his son Tim was a NASCAR driver also, okay? So there are people, okay, that have excellence that need to teach it to other young people on how to achieve excellence. It's not about football. This is about finding your passion. And I found mine. It was football, but you know what? Football ends. You know, and that's what the NFL stands for, not for long, okay? When I started to try to, and I didn't understand it, you know, I didn't understand what the lifespan was. So you think about it, if I'm playing 2 years of minor league ball and the average is 3.4 years of lifespan, well, if I make it, I only got 1.4 years, and I wasn't making any money. You know, if you're making $15,000, I might as well stay here and teach school and go that route. But I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. All I knew was that I wanted to really move forward, accomplish something that I started. And I have a wonderful letter. And Sheena, you have that letter, don't you? You do, yeah. And there's a wonderful letter from my father when he was 65 and I was turning 21. And there's no crying in football. All right? You know, it just brings back all of it. Hard to get through it, you know. But I wanted to bring that the ethics of family life. And it's not one thing or the other, it's all of it. It's all what makes a family tick, and how young people respond, and finding and helping them find their passion. Because if you're doing your passion and you're working at your passion, it's not work. It's not work. So I just really wanted to thank everybody. I wanted to thank you for thinking of me in this vein, okay? You know, Coach and all the administrators. You know, you're on the right path. You really are, by helping young people, you know, get to where they got to go. That's what education is all about, right? Helping them get to where they want to go. And I'm just so flabbergasted to be part of it. And thank you very much.
Let's hear it one more time for Lou Pone. This morning when I got my gear on, ready for work, I didn't think I'd be hearing such an inspirational message. I'm so motivated. I love the words that you shared with us. I'm so happy that many of our team members from our building are here today to hear that message. Perseverance, finding your passion, family, all these values that we've been talking about as a Board of Education, as a school district, as a family. Incredible. I'm so happy that now you're gonna get me choked up. Thank you so much for your time, your effort, and coming back and giving to the city. We appreciate you, and the message I know will continue to resonate with our families and the fight that we do every day for the kids who are here with us today. Because, thank you, sir. We need your commitment. We had some great celebrations in the past year with Sheena helping us out with some new guys coming up into the NFL. They've committed to working with our children, with our athletic department, our Board of Education, our administrators, our team. We're saving lives every day. And your message today, I think, inspired the rest of us to continue that fight tomorrow and for every day moving forward. So thank you again, sir. So at this time, we would like everyone to join us for the City of Vineland street dedication at the corner of West Avenue and Montrose. I know some of us have other appointments that are set up, so we have to move on, but we will help you get over to the location. Any other special announcements, Rossini? Are we ready to move? Okay, so we're ready to make this happen. Everyone, thank you again for your attendance this morning. We're going to move over to West Avenue and Montrose.
Get up, Jim. Take a picture with your classmates.
All right, everyone, thank you very much for joining us this morning. I want to extend sincere thanks to Mr. Yano and the school district for everything they did to work with us on this project and this dedication today, and for the event they had previous to where we are now this morning. Thank you for that. Truly appreciate you welcoming one of our hometown heroes in. And it's important for people to know we've been identified for all our latest accomplishments athletically here in the City of Vineland. We're getting notoriety all over the country for that, but it's always important to remember your foundation and your history, right? And history is just that, something that happened there. But if you know Vineland, which all of you do, and those of you that may not, will know that our history continues to repeat itself in a positive way. What Lou has done, not just in his professional career as an athlete, but in his post-athletic career, is tremendous. I'm very much looking forward tomorrow to having some additional conversation and discussing some more things that maybe we can have some synergies here again with the city and what you're doing. And I'm very grateful that you've allowed us to give you this honor. It's important. I don't hand out a lot of keys to the city, which you'll be getting a little later this evening at a beautiful banquet. But we wanted to dedicate this portion of the roadway to you, especially because it houses our football stadium right here, which you did have a little bit of time in. And big thanks to Coach Russo and his staff for everything they've done to continue to fulfill the tradition and honor that the athletic programs here in the City of Vineland continue to have, especially football, which was always near and dear to my heart as a young player, and a brief collegiate career that didn't last too long due to injury, but it happened. I can still say I did it. Not as well as Danny, though. Not as well as Danny. All-American, right, brother? Yep. See that? Donnie Robbins, where are you? Thank you for all that you do, especially with the athletics and keeping things going. It's important that people know that. Academics and athletics are extremely important in success in life. And as you can see, it allows us to do what we do best now. And that's honor the people that came before us and remember these traditions and remember to continue, those of us in education that are here, to continue teaching the kids about everything and all the positives. Thank you very much for you guys joining us today.
Thank you.
Give a real big round of applause.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a real quote. This is a real.
And before
Just-
that's pulled down, the mayor asked me to me personally, because I was the one that bothered all of you guys, to thank Mr. Neer.
Thank you.
Okay, say it. Naher.
Perfect.
Okay. You know my accent. Mr. Naher and Mr. Wright and all of their crew in the road department, because they did a great job. Not only do we have great workers in the city, this is what he told me to say, but they are also artists, because they designed that sign under the direction of Mayor Anthony Fanucci and our business administrator, Mr. Bob Dickinson. So the mayor would like to thank you for all the great work that you do for our city. And please forgive me for all those times that I kept you too long on the phone and all of that. And I'm going to be short. Thank you.
Lou, do you have anything you'd like to say before we do the unveiling?
No, I think it's a tremendous accomplishment, a tremendous commitment that the mayor and the city and the people in the administration, the educational department, that have made a commitment to not only athletics but to education and to perpetuating the ideas, okay, and the success of Vinelanders, okay? I'm a Vinelander.
Yes.
I love Vineland. Even though I haven't been here, I tried to bring Buffalo, where I'm very, very involved in the community, have been for years, to here. So you understand that it's no difference between Buffalo and here. I love Buffalo too. But this is where I was born and raised. And my family, okay, has 60 years of some touch, okay, with the community. We go back that far with the athletic community. My father and his brothers, okay, and on my mother's side, my mother and her brothers, because my mother's my hero too. So as we look at the thing, it has nothing to do with gender. It has something to do with accomplishments, understanding what it takes, getting after it, and going and doing it. And that's what the mayor is doing. That's what the coach is doing. That's what the AD is doing. That's what the educational department is doing, and making that commitment, following through with it. A commitment is no good without the follow-through. Okay? That's pretty simple. And the follow-through is and can be measured. And it will be measured. Okay? By everybody in the town and by those kids that you're affecting as they come up. So that's my message. And I told the mayor, I said, look, I'm here. I'm not that far away. I'm here. So if you need me for anything, you let me know. I'll come back and I will reinforce the fact that you can do it. If I can do it with a commitment, if you got a commitment, you got your passion, you find out what that is and you can do it. All right? You just got to get after it. And that's the, and I have a coach here who's, I mean, he saw me when I was this high. Okay? And Coach, did you think that anything like that would happen from this guy over here?
No.
Okay, there you go. that says it all, baby. That says it all.
Out of Alan.
Yeah. So I just wanted to leave you. I wanted to leave you with those thoughts. I think it's so very vitally important, especially today. So many things are going the opposite way. I throw my hands up. I say, "What is that?" Well, now we know that is being combated with this. Okay, and I take my hat off to all of you. Thank you very much for the honor. It's an honor. I don't know what's under that sign. Too short. I'm not really short. I just really appreciate it. I want to tell you that I appreciate it for not only me but for my family. And I have a cousin here, Dennis. Where is he? There he is. My cousine, Dennis Piccone, and his lovely wife Andrea, who I think will validate the fact that we were definitely affected by the community and by our family, and family values are so very important, and I'll leave you with that. Family values stack up to the top. Thank you very much for this honor. I appreciate
So, I want to thank our governing body, City Council, which we have 3 of our members here today, Council President Arthur, Councilman Vargas, and Councilman Spinelli, because without this wouldn't be possible without them agreeing to pass the form of legislation to make this go. And poor Bobby D, where are you, Bobby? My business administrator, who is the best of the best in handling all the stuff that we throw at him every single day. Bobby, thanks. You keep the wheels spinning around here.
Wait.
Lou, I want you to get up there so you can pull that down.
Want me to do it?
Can you reach?
Oh,
Can I reach
God.
him? I'm telling you. Oh, hey!
Good job, Kevin.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations,
Thank you,
sir.
Mayor. Thank
Here,
you.
I'll take that for you.
Okay, buddy. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. I'll be there.